The following is a special Wayne Hills Television sports presentation.
Hello and welcome to today's high school basketball matchup between your Wayne Hills Patriots and the St. Joe's Green Knights. I'm John Vittas here with Joe Rapp. So Joe, we get ready for this one. Last time these Green Knights came rolling into Wayne Hills High School, they took away the 55-game winning streak of the football team. Now this Wayne Hills basketball team, 3 of their 6 big contributors are members of that football team that were disappointed by that loss. Does that revenge factor have any impact on today's basketball game?
Absolutely, John. For the football team, Quinn, Fonte, Max, and DeBlock, I mean, it's all important to them because they want to beat St. Joe's in one sport or another.
Yeah, I do think it's going to have a slight impact on today's game. I mean, 4 guys, like Joe mentioned, Chris Fonte, Matt DeBlock, Mike Quinn, and Max DiCarvalho, were all key members of the football team, and they were really disappointed that night when St. Joe's came in and beat them on their home turf. So now, Joe, what player today, a little bit under the radar, has to step up and have a big game in order for them to pull off the upset?
I'm gonna have to go with Matt DeBlock off the bench. I mean, he's been a great defensive player all year, and he's gonna have to continue it. Stop these St. Joe's guards.
I'm going to go with Mike Quinn, the other forward that doesn't get a lot of attention. I mean, Chris Fonte's the main presence down low, but Quinn's a starter, and he's going to have a nice game tonight, especially defensively, in order to slow down St. Joe's interior game because they have more size than Wayne Hills does. Now, last but not least, St. Joe's comes in with an 11-2 record. Hills is just 6-7. What does Hills have to do to neutralize that huge advantage?
Well, it all starts on the defensive end. Make St. Joe's a jump shooting team. Don't give them any buckets in the paint.
Defense is definitely going to be a key factor in today's game. We'll be back with the opening tip after this.
Everybody loves animals. My favorite band is Animal Collective, and my favorite TV show is Cougar Town. Unfortunately, we don't live in a world where stray animals can live safely, and these animals need a home. This over here is Clouseau, and him, his friends Ollie and Gerbil, and all the other animals in the Wayne Animal Shelter are free and loving and ready to live with you whenever you want for just a small adoption fee. Call now and have this love for you.
Welcome back to the Gifford Gymnasium as we'll send it down to the floor now for your opening lineups.
And his assistants, Reggie St. Rose and Ron Green. And for the home team Patriots, head coach, Dr. James Catalano, and his assistants, John Goldstein and Kevin Batty. And now for the starting lineups for the visiting Green Knights. Senior guard number 23, Mike Marchman, number 23. Senior guard number 11, Alex Aikens, number 11. Senior forward number 10, Greg Torshon, number 10. Junior forward number 32, Nick Gardner, number 32. And senior center number 5, Tony Athis, number 5. And for the Patriots, junior guard number 35, Matt Peskins, number 35. Junior guard number 42, Sam Pressler, number 42. Senior guard number 3, Joe Brandel, number 3. Senior forward number 12, Mike Quinn, number 12. And senior center number 50, Chris Fonte, number 50. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you now please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Are you see, God is all.
Welcome back to the Gifford Gymnasium. I'm John Vittas here with Joe Rapp as we get things ready to go. Here from Wayne Hills High School, the 6 and 7 Patriots taking on the 11 and 2 Green Knights of St. Joe's. So I'm here with Joe Rapp. And Joe, I mean, of course, the thing that stands out coming into this game is that St. Joe's is the team that ended our streak on the football field. I mean, we talked about the revenge factor in the open, but I mean, Kai Dominguez, I mean, the name just stands out like a sore thumb. I mean, he torched this Wayne Hills football squad, the secondary, 2 touchdowns in that game. He's supposed to be on this basketball team. We haven't seen him thus far, so Kai could be a no-show.
Wow. When you just mentioned that name, John, it just puts anger into my eyes. I mean, just looking at him right now, man, just brings back bad memories. I'm just glad he's on the bench right now, and we'll see if he's as good as he is at football as he is at basketball. Or the other way around, excuse me, when he gets into the game.
Well, Dominguez was listed in the starting lineup in the pregame, but they made a change in the last 30 minutes or so there's a new guy in there. That's junior forward, number 32, Nick Gardner, who's going to make the start today. But Dominguez will probably come in off the bench, and like Joe said, name is it's like a curse word around here at Wayne Hills. I mean, he really did burn us on that game, but you know, there's brighter things to look forward to today. I mean, we're debuting our brand new mic flags. We've gone with the triangular look rather than the cube. So, I mean, the Wayne Hills TV Club's making advances day in and day out.
It's a big day in Wayne Hills TV history, John.
And it wouldn't have happened if we didn't leave the mic on the field at Giant Stadium in the snow at the state championship. So I'm making my contributions in some unexpected ways. But here we go as Chris Fonte's going to take the tip. He's going to be matched up against number 5, senior center Tony Afis. And Fonte tips it up ahead. It'll be controlled by Alex Akins, who was on that football squad that beat Wayne Hills. Akins, I believe, was the punter and a linebacker on that team. So he has some nice memories on this turf as they're going to try to come in again and beat Wayne Hills on the basketball court this time. Joe and I are on the baseball team, and we do play St. Joe's on the baseball field, and Kai Dominguez is on that baseball team as well. So I'm looking forward to getting a chance to avenge that football loss and come away with the win against Dominguez and St. Joe's on the baseball diamond as well. But right off the bat, Chris Fonte with the huge stuff, and Wayne Hills is going to control. Heskins will run the point. They were going to that motion offense as they usually do to start off the game. Hills comes in at 6 and 7. They lost their most recent game to DePaul by 8 points. Before that, they blew out Lakeland and lost to Passaic Valley. So they're not exactly coming in on a hot streak, but they're not exactly doing bad either. As getting inside for the Green Knights is number 23, Mike Marchman, who gets the first basket of the game, and it's 2-0 Joe's early.
You know, John, I want to get your opinion on this. I mean, you're playing a Catholic school. People go to St. Joe's, Don Bosco, Burn Catholic, to play their particular sport, football, basketball, baseball. I mean, do you see this as a disadvantage?
Oh, it's not just a disadvantage. It's not fair. I mean, we've talked about this in football, and whenever we play a private school, which just started this year, it's just not fair. I mean, these teams can recruit. They can give scholarships. These kids pay to go to those schools. And they focus on – they're all great athletes, and they all focus on that one individual sport that they want to thrive in. So, I mean, maybe in the starting lineups there's not that big of a difference. But when you look at the benches, I mean, they just completely outnumber us, and they have a lot more size. So that's when it really kicks in, is later on in the game when the bench starts to play a role. And it's just, I don't think it's fair. I mean, I think they're going to have to change it next year. They are making changes, but I do think we're still going to be playing private schools next year as well. So, I mean, I just don't think it's fair. Full court press by the Green Knights. Brandel and Heskin struggling to get it past half court. They try to rip it away from Brandel, and Coach Catalano is going to call a timeout. So a minute and 33 seconds into the game, it's 4-0 St. Joe's, and Catalano quickly goes to the bench and calls on his guys to get up and talk things over.
Yeah, John, they didn't do a very good job trying to break out of that press. They got to find the open man quicker.
Well, Hills has had a fairly disappointing season so far. Like I said, coming in at 6 and 7 after last year's team made it to the state and county tournaments. They had a lot of losses from last year's team, but this team really thought they could rebound and not have to waste the season rebuilding. and they haven't been terrible, but they were expecting to be significantly over 500, and right now they're just flirting with that 500 mark at 6-7. They've had some disappointing losses against teams like Passaic and Kennedy, which would have been nice signature wins. Like I said, they also lost to DePaul, Passaic Valley, and Ramapo. So they've had some losses that if they had won, they would have been a lot higher ranked. They started the season in the North Jersey top 25. They've dropped out of that. So they're trying to get back in there. And if they can get to 500, they'll make the county and state tournaments, which is really all they want, so they can have a chance to make some noise in the postseason. They use Fonte as a screen man, give it back to him. Goes up, no call. Aikens comes away with it. He's going to push for St. Joe's in the corner this time. Hill's in a man-to-man. We don't see this too often from them, especially to start out games, but Coach Catalano thinks he can exploit some matchups. And Brandel comes away with that long rebound, tipped to him by Fonte. And St. Joe's also in a man-to-man with Aikens guarding Heskins. That one's tipped out of bounds back to Wayne Hills.
You see Hills looking to Fonte early on the offensive end. He's coming off a good 16-point outing against DePaul, so he's on a roll right now.
Well, Gardner is one of the biggest centers we've seen on opposing teams. Fonte still has a couple inches on him, but Gardner's a big boy. I mean, we've seen Fonte with huge size advantages, but today he's only got a couple inches on the guy. As Brandel shoots up a three and knocks it home. So Joe Brandel gets the scoring going for Wayne Hills. They've cut the lead to 1.
When you have the shooting touch like Wayne Hills does, you can get back into games very easily, given Hills momentum right there.
Torch into Aikens, drops it off for Marchman. Marchman around the screen, pulls up from 15 feet, no good. Gardner gets the board, kicks it out to Aikens, wide open for 3. No good, rebounded by Fonte. That shot was way short. Quinn dishes it to Brandel, who's going to push, and it's knocked away from behind by Marchman. Here comes Torch and up ahead, and good job by Mike Quinn to draw the charge. It'll head back over to the Patriots.
Quinn, a very fast thinker, he knew he wasn't going to try to foul him, get him on the line, so he just took the charge. It's a good play. You know, John, some people are afraid to do that sometimes. They rather just jump up, and they're going to get called for the foul every time, but that was a good play. As you see, St. Joe's getting a steal, putting up the easy deuce.
That was senior forward Greg Torchin making the steal and pick 6. Continuing with the football references, Sam Pressler lines up a 3. It's no good. Rebounded by St. Joe's. They're going to run the floor. Quinn tries to come away with the steal, but it's no good. Joe's is going up and down and scoring at will right now. That was Tony Afeast with his first basket of the game. Heskins double team. They try to rip it away from him. He finds Pressler. Pressler goes baseline, pulls up, tough angle. Fonte with the board, puts it up, no good. They battle for it down low. Afeast comes away with the rebound. Up ahead to Aikens in the corner. And they're going to call a travel on Mike Marchman. Easy call right there as he pulled up from 3 but then decided to start dribbling. Can't do that.
You know, John, what I've seen so far is St. Joe's a lot more athletic than Wayne Hills. Wayne Hills is struggling to get back on defense on a fast break. Coach Cat's going to have to make an adjustment and try to make sure that they don't get any fast break points.
Halfway through the first quarter, it's 8-3 St. Joseph's. The only points for Wayne Hills coming on a Joe Brandel 3-pointer. They're just not getting any space on offense. This St. Joe's D has been stifling so far. Brandel posts up Fonte. That's what they've been trying to do, and Fonte loses it, and it goes out of bounds. So things not starting well for Wayne Hills. And they've yet to make a substitution as we're 4.5 minutes in. And you got to mention, as here comes number 24, Kai Dominguez, just as I say, there's no substitutions. So there he is with the long black socks. He has a full scholarship for college. I'm not sure what school he'll be attending next fall. But he's a great football player, got a full ride. Great basketball and baseball player as well. We'll see what he can do on the basketball court. There he is with the ball, number 24. So St. Joe's, like I said, is going to have a lot more depth than Wayne Hill, so they're going to look to go to the bench early and often. Aikens' 3, no good. Long rebound. Gardner goes flying into the chairs. Heskins comes away with it. Gives it to Fonte on the run. Fonte lays it up and in. Absolutely crushed Tony Afeast, but they didn't call a foul.
Yeah, but John, that wasn't a very good play by Fonte. He shouldn't have put the ball on the floor. You got to take 2 steps and go right up with it.
Wasn't a good play by a Feast to get in front of the 300-pound Chris Fonte either. No one wants to be in the way of that. They post up Gardner, who can't do much with Fonte. Here's Dominguez with the ball. He's going to take it back. Marchman now. They get it down low to Dominguez, working on Brandel. Stolen by Quinn. So Quinn with the interception on Dominguez. You know when Mike Quinn sees Kai Dominguez on the court, he's going to do whatever he can to not let Dominguez burn him again. Gardner comes away with it. Up ahead, wide open is Kai Dominguez. 3 is an air ball, but there is Tony Afeast for the offensive rebound and the putback. 10-5 St. Joe's.
Yeah, we see Dominguez a little cold. I mean, just had a bad pass for a turnover. He just airballed a 3. Fonte gets the ball back.
Fonte was stuffed, but he gets his own rebound and puts it back in for the easy 2. So Hills is hanging in there now. It's down by just 3 as we tick down under 2 minutes to go in the first.
You know, John, I've said every game how big Fonte is. He should score 25 points a game. There's no one as big as him on any opponent Wayne Hills plays. He should get 20, 25 points, 15 rebounds every game. He's just too big.
And I know Hills has a great shooting team, but they got to get on the ball a little bit more too. I mean, they do look to post them up a decent amount at the time. But again, Hills does take a lot of threes, and they do work it around the outside a lot. Why not give it to Fonte every time if they can't stop him? And he looks to be pretty solid so far today. There they go. Quinn tries to get it to Fonte, but it's stolen by Afeast. Akins gets inside, working on Brandel, puts up the floater, and it's good. Akins banks home that one, and St. Joe's goes back up by 5.
Not only did he bank it, that was a very tough angle, practically on the end line. So that was a great play by Aiken.
Brandel gets it to Fonte, kicks it out to Quinn, wide open for 3, pulls up, no good. Offensive rebound to Sam Pressler. He takes it back out, gets it down low to Fonte, goes up, he's fouled by Gardner. So Chris Fonte will go to the line shooting 2 with 45 seconds to go in the first. Fonte's first free throw is perfect. So he's got 5 of the 8 points for Wayne Hills thus far.
I mean, John, going back to Fonte, you almost can compare him to Dwight Howard of the Orlando Magic. I mean, they're both big guys. They're both tanks down low in the paint. And most of the games that Wayne Hills has played depends on free throw shooting. And if Fonte can't make free throws, it's a big loss for their team.
Fonte just nailed a pair, and that's nice to see because he gets to the line a lot. But Joe, I gotta correct you for a second. That's not a Dwight Howard replica. That's got to be Shaq. Come on. I mean, Dwight Howard's athletic. He's got an ego. Shaq kind of handles his business down low. He's a bigger body like Fonte is.
Well, either way, Shaq and Dwight Howard can't make free throws. Do I have a point there?
Yes, you do.
That was my point. You know, this first center came to my head. I was thinking of bad free throw shooters.
Well, with Shaq kind of falling off the radar, I can see the Dwight Howard comparison from the stripe. As coming into the game is number 3, Dan McKinless, who hit that 3. So McKinless comes right in and makes an impact. Sam Pressler's 3 at the buzzer is no good. So that'll do it for the first quarter of action, with the St. Joe's Green Knights leading your Wayne Hills Patriots by the score of 15-9. We'll be back with the second quarter after this.
I'm here with Swizzle. He's streetwise, and he gets what he wants. He's on my back right now, and I don't really know how this happened. I'm holding him by his tail. But he can do cool tricks. Extreme sports. Swizzle in your home. Come to the Wayne Animal Shelter where you can meet Swizzle, and maybe he can jump on your back too.
Back here at Wayne Hills for the start of the second quarter. With the Patriots trailing by 6, it's 15-9 after 1. Pressler inbounds to Quinn as St. Joe's gets another sub in there. Quinn puts it up, no good. Long rebound up ahead to that substitute. That's Ihoya Ago. So Ago's going to take it up for St. Joe's. A Feast wide open for 3. That's the center taking a 3-point basket. Fonte with the long board up ahead to Pressler. He's got no help. So he's going to kick it to Fonte. Back to Quinn. Pressler open in the corner for three. Winds up. No good on the tray. A feast with the board. Got a good inside position on Fonte. Up ahead to Dominguez. Pulls up from 8 feet. Can't get the roll. And the board goes to Brandel. So good job of Joe Brandel to get inside. He's going to push it for Wayne Hills. To Quinn in the corner. Quinn drives baseline. Goes up and puts it in. Nice athletic play from Mike Quinn.
That was a great look by Joe Brandel, getting Mike Quinn the ball in the corner. And he was going to take a three-point shot. We all knew it. But then he saw the other ones in front of him, so he might as well take the layup.
That was a good job by Brandel to draw that penetration and then give it to Quinn with room to work. So this is Ago on Matt DeBlock, who's checked in for the first time. So getting a breather is Heskins, but Hills with a short bench after the quitting of Peter Davies and Mike Dries a couple games ago. So Wayne Hills with only a 2-man bench now as opposed to that 4-man bench they used to have. The only guys that you'll really see as Joe Brandel finishes in the lane, and St. Joe's is going to take a quick timeout. So the only guys you'll really see off the bench is Matt DeBlock and Max DiCarvalho. They've dressed 2 sophomores today in Gazim Musini and Darius Haber. So those 2 guys making their varsity debuts, at least as far as dressing. But like I said, a short bench for Wayne Hills, and we talked about the depth that St. Joe's has. So as the game wears on, the fatigue of these Wayne Hills players is going to be tested. So it's 15-13 St. Joe's as Hills has come out with 4 quick points here in the second. So they're right back in the game now. And Joe, who would you like to see Wayne Hills get the ball to a little bit more? They've gotten it to Fonte a lot, and I know you want to see him score 25 points a game. But maybe which guard would you like to see take some more shots?
I think Heskins should get more involved in the offense. I mean, I don't even know if he's taken a shot yet. I mean, he's a great shooter. He can penetrate, probably the best on the team. So I think he should get more involved.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've seen Matt Heskins be the focal point of this offense at times in certain games. Clifton stands out to me just because he scored about 17 points in that game, had a lot of that early on when Hills was taking control, and he's a great ball handler, and you know, he can handle his business at the varsity level. So I think he hasn't even taken a shot yet, so if they can get him the ball, that'd be good. But right now he's on the bench, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. So both teams go with that same 5 they had in before the timeout. Nice move inside. Just getting in there was number 3, Dan McKinless. And it's going to be an and 1 for Tony Afis and the Green Knights. So St. Joe stretches that lead back out to 4.
You know, John, Tony Afis can cause some problems for Fonte, because if he's a 3-point shooter at the center position, Fonte's going to have to come out and guard him, and that leaves penetration right in the middle of the paint, so that could cause problems.
Afis is a very athletic center, and he has height. He's probably around 6'4", maybe even 6'5", so he could definitely cause problems for Fonte. As there he goes again, Tony Afis getting inside. DeBlock was trailing and stuffed that one, but he was called for the foul. So Afis is going to go to the line, shooting 2 as we're 2 minutes in here in the second. His first one's perfect, so Tony Afis has 7 points already here in the first to lead all scorers. His second is absolutely perfect. So 2 pretty free throws from Tony Afis. He's got 8 now as the full court press from St. Joe's is broken by Quinn. 2-on-1. DeBlock slows things up and gets it back out to Quinn. To Brandel, who's wide open for 3. He won't miss that one. Joe Brandel buries the 3-point goal, and Hills cuts the lead in half from 6-3.
St. Joe's just learned you can't leave JB3 open for 3. Can't do it. He'll knock it down every time.
I mean, I called that one before it even went in. I knew it was good. You give Joe Brandel that look, he'll hit it every time.
I mean, he knocks it down in people's faces, but there's no one near him.
Dominguez gets inside on Brandel and puts it in. So Kai Dominguez gets on the board. And Joe Brandel just got beat down low. Maybe he was dreaming about that last 3-point goal. I mean, when you get a look like that, that's something you don't see in games too often. Pressler working on Dominguez. Brandel pulls up and gives it to DeBlock, who they're going to call for the offensive foul. So an out-of-control call on Matt DeBlock. It's his second foul already, and he's only been in for 3 minutes.
You gotta feel for Matt DeBlock. I mean, he's had a bad season offensively. I know from talking to him, he's not very confident. I mean, Coach Cat yelling at him right now is not a good thing for him. He's just got to step up his game.
McKinless gives it to Dominguez. A feast from the free throw stripe. This is Ago. St. Joe's with some good motion on offense. They're moving around pretty well. Hill's still in that man-to-man. 21 points from Joe's hasn't discouraged Hills from staying in that man offense as Fonte swats that one on Dominguez, saying, if you take our streak away, I'll take your shot away.
It's a shame the Wayne Hills secondary couldn't do that during the football game, John.
Or the Wayne Hills defensive line. Would have been nice if they could block some of those O'Connor passes. McKinless posts up a feast, working on Quinn this time. Gets inside and is intercepted by Chris Fonte. And they're going to call a block now on a feast. Quinn drew it. 21-16 Joe, so Hills is hanging in there with an 11-2 private school. The energy hasn't exactly been intense so far. I mean, the Goonies haven't really showed up today. It's an early start, 4 p.m. game. So by my count, there's no more than 10, 15 guys in the stands to cheer on this team when there's usually around 40 or 50. Quinn showing some ball handling skills. Gives it to Brandel, who gets inside on McKinless. Posts up Fonte back to Brandel. Air ball. They're going to call an over-the-back foul on Sam Pressler. That's Hills' 5th foul already. So 2 more, and St. Joe's will be shooting free throws. That's Pressler's first. Mike Marchman back in the game, running the point for St. Joe's. Ago gets it to Gardner, who's back in the game as well. Dominguez pumps on Heskins, pulls up from the free throw stripe and nails it. Kai Dominguez with a beautiful jumper over the outstretched arm of Matt Heskins. Nothing Matt could do about that one. 23-16 as St. Joe's is up by 7 now. Hills would like to keep it less than that. Going into the locker room, they post up Fonte and is intercepted by St. Joe's. Coming back the other way is Marchman, and he's fouled. So Marchman will go to the line, and St. Joe's is starting to take a grip on this lead.
You know, St. Joe's is playing great defense. They see that Joe Bramwell, Sam Pressler, Matt Haskins, any guard that Wayne Hills has, when they attempt to get the ball to Fonte, St. Joe's recognizes that, and they try to jump on Fonte as soon as possible, and usually that leads to turnovers.
Marchman's first free throw is no good, and like Joe said, Joe's has recognized now that Hills is going to try to go to Fonte on every possession, so Hills luckily has the skill at other positions where they can look to somewhere else to score. I mean, they have 3 guards averaging around 10 points a game. I think Brandel leads the team with 17 a game, and Heskins and Pressler are right around 10. So they can all score. So they're not going to be forced to go to Fonte. That's going to be a backcourt violation as Quinn's pass was too far for Brandel. So another turnover for Wayne Hills, and their defense is going to have to step it up here if they want to stay close, because right now St. Joe's D is wreaking havoc. Aiken's back in the game, and you can see all these subs are working in a 10-man rotation right now with St. Joe's. I mean, Aikens is one of their best players, and he just got like a 5-6 minute rest. That's something Joe's can afford to do with all these guys.
Yeah, well, when you're as athletic as they can, they're all pretty good players because they come to St. Joe's to play basketball, so they all know what they're doing.
I mean, as opposed to Hills, like I mentioned, with only a 6 to 7-man rotation. It's a huge advantage Joe's has. This is a long possession here. Dominguez pulls up from 10 feet, no good. Rebounded inside by Afis, and eventually Fonte comes away with it to Brandel, who's going to run the break now. No one's there to help him, and it's going to be taken by Gardner. So no one was there to help out Brandel, and he got stripped eventually. They're going to find Akins in the corner. That's his third attempt of the game from downtown. He's 0 for 3 as Brandel pushes it to Pressler. Pressler's going to pull up from long range. He's short, gets his own rebound. Good job by Sam to follow his own shot, and he puts it up and in. Sam Pressler with a gorgeous three-point play, and he'll head to the line.
I don't know how he made that, but, you know, you're always taught as a young age, after you shoot the ball, you follow your shot, and that's what Sam just did. And look what happened.
Well, Sam knows better than anyone else that that ball was going to be short, so he followed the shot and somehow got that fadeaway to go as he hits the free throw. So Sam Pressler with his first point to the game. And that was big because it cut the lead from 7 to 4, and Hills is right back in it, down 23 to 19. Gardner at the top of the key. Stolen by Brandel, gets it up ahead to Heskins, who feeds it to Pressler, who's not going to shoot a 3 in transition this time. Quinn cross court to Brandel, almost was too high. They post up Fonte, puts it up, no good. Pressler's there, tries to save it, but Afis is there to intercept it. 3-on-2, taken away by Brandel. They go up and down with the turnovers. Brandel up ahead to Heskins, no good. Brandel comes away with the loose ball. They're going to call a foul on Kai Dominguez, which finally ends that course of events. They were going up and down the court as they get a chance to catch their breath now. Hills is going to inbound. That was the 5th foul of the half for St. Joe's. First on Dominguez. But Heskins missed a chance. Quinn had a bad pass to Brandel. Hills had their chances in those transitions right there, but couldn't take advantage.
Heskins didn't know where he was on the court. I mean, he's got to take a dribble, stop what he's doing, and try to look where he is.
They post up Fonte, working on Gardner, puts it up, no good. But they're going to call a foul on Nick Gardner. Gardner just a junior. He's got a lot of size, but Fonte has even more.
Fonte has more than everybody.
That's for sure. He's 2 for 2 from the stripe today. Make it 3 for 3, so Chris Fonte's made a point of hitting his free throws. He leads Wayne Hills with 7 points now. As DiCarvalho looks to come in for the first time, he'll check in for Fonte if he makes this free throw, which he does not. Goes out of bounds. Back to Wayne Hills as now DiCarvalho will not come in. They're going to call him back to the bench because Hills is on offense. DiCarvalho is going to come in for defense. 41.9 seconds to go in the opening half. Brandel tries to get it to Heskins. Goes out of bounds. Back to Wayne Hills. Fonte to Heskins. Brandel lines up a 3. No good. Fonte, the board, puts it up. Afis is there to defend it. Akins has it now. Heskins tried to strip him from behind, so now St. Joe's has an advantage in the corner for 3. No good. Fonte with the board. Chris is doing a good job of running the floor and getting that inside position before the shot goes up. Almost another turnover as they're going to hold it for the last shot now with 13 seconds to go. Heskins on Dominguez. Back to Quinn with 9 to go. They got to get things going here. 5 seconds left. Heskins on Dominguez, trying to make a move. Inside is Matt, puts it up. No good. Matt Heskins has made a living on buzzer beaters. We've seen him do it 2 or 3 times this season. Couldn't get that one to go. So at the half, Hills is hanging in there, down just 23 to 20. Joe, what stood out for you?
What stood out for me, that Fonte's getting involved like I want him to. He scored about 8 or 10 points. He's gotten rebounds. He's just done a great job in the paint, and that's what Wayne Hills has to do if they want to win this game.
Yeah, for sure. Hills' defense has kept them in this game thus far, only giving up 23 to a great 11-2 team like St. Joe's. And if they can continue to get Fonte to finish down low and hit his free throws and maybe hit a couple more threes, they only have 2 so far, and they make a living from three-point range. So if Hills can hit their threes and get it down low to Fonte, they could definitely pull off this upset because they're hanging in there. So that'll do it for the first half of action. We'll be back with the second half after this. Stay tuned.
Here at the Wayne Animal Shelter, there are plenty of... Oh, so cute. Oh, hey, how you doing, eh? Oh, there's a kitty with that. Oh, the kitty.
Welcome back to Wayne Hills High School as we get ready to start the second half of action with the St. Joe's Green Knights leading Wayne Hills by a score of 23-20. Let's just roll through the first half numbers real quick. Point totals for Wayne Hills. Joe Brando led the way with 8. Chris Fonte had 7, Sam Pressler 3, and Mike Quinn with 2. For St. Joe's, Tony Afis had 8, Alex Akins 4, Dan McKinless 3, Greg Torchon, Mike Marchman, and Kai Dominguez all had 2. So here we go. St. Joe's is going to start with the ball. Kai Dominguez is going to inbound it. They're moving from right to left now. So with Hills trailing by 3, we get the second half of action underway with Akins running the point for St. Joe's. He's going to find a feast open for 3, but he's not going to take it. Dominguez to Marchman off the 3. Or off the screen, excuse me. Marchman inside, gets Fonte up in the air. Down low, Fonte's there. They're going to call him for the foul. Going up with it for St. Joe's was Greg Torchon. So Torchon's going to go to the line to get the scoring, or attempt to get the scoring going here in the second half.
You know, John, I don't think Wayne Hills played that particularly well during this game so far. I'm surprised they're only down by 4, maybe 5 points here.
Yeah, definitely. It's a testament to their defense and how well they've played so far, because you can see that St. Joe's has the skill and athleticism, as we just saw Kai Dominguez go flying up for that rebound. They have the skills to be able to blow out bad teams, and Hills isn't exactly playing their best right now, but holding a great team to 23 points and a half is pretty solid. So their defense is playing really well right now, and they've stuck to that man-to-man because it's been working so far. Torcham working on Quinn. Akins on Brandel. They swing it to Dominguez, who's wide open for 3. Pulls up and drains it. So Kai Dominguez continues to be the horn in Wayne Hills' side as he hits that 3, and they're back up by 7 now. Quinn down low to Fonte, puts it up and in. Nice assist from Quinn, setting up Chris Fonte, who put it in. He's got 9 points.
Fonte continuing what he left off in the first half. A great play there. Tough angle, too, right on the end line. He had to have the perfect spin on the ball to get it in, and he did.
If Feast working on Heskins, that's a little bit of a mismatch. They're going to switch back now. Travel called on Torchon, excuse me. Brando flips it up ahead to Heskins. Gets past Torchon. Gets inside, easy pass to Fonte, lays it up and in. Chris Fonte with the 3-point play, and he'll head to the line looking to cut it down to 2.
Great find by Matt Haskins. He dribbled. I saw him looking for Fonte earlier in that fast break, and he finally got to him, and Fonte put it up for an easy layup.
Matt Haskins is a great passer, no question about it. Fonte hits his free throw, so he's now 4 for 5 from the stripe today. And he has all 5 of Wayne Hills' points in this quarter.
And John, 80% is more than fine for Coach Cat Wayne Hills if Fonte knocks down free throws.
That's for sure. I believe he's around a 50 to 60% free throw shooter in his career. So they'll definitely take 80. Driving is Torchon. They didn't call a foul on Quinn. He bumped him pretty hard. Akins gets inside. Quinn tipped it. Torchon's able to control. And the coach for St. Joe's is going to call a timeout. So after St. Joe's looked to take control of the lead, Hills was able to cut it back down to 2 with 5:56 here to go in the third quarter. Hills are going to stay with that same lineup, so they're really stuck with those same 5 guys in the game. They'll mix in Matt DeBlock from time to time, but that same 5 is going to be in there. As we can't help but keep mentioning that St. Joe's is going to rotate 10 while Hills is stuck with that same 5 or 6 man rotation.
You know, John, fatigue will be a factor in this game, probably at the end of the fourth quarter, but not only for this game, the rest of the season. I mean, Coach Cat is going to have to put some new players in. John Giardello, Jimmy Kenny, Max DiCarvalho. He's going to have to put them in the rotation, and you got to trust your players. I mean, Chris Fonte's going to be very tired running up and down the court when state playoffs come around.
Well, the only thing is that high school plays 8-minute quarters, which really is not a lot at all. So I think these players are definitely in shape enough to play a full game. And we'll definitely find out if they are in that good of fitness, because they're going to have to play the whole game today in a close one against a rival like St. Joe's. So I don't think we'll be seeing too much of Giardello or Kenny in this one. Matt Heskins pulls down that board. He's going to run it up ahead for Wayne Hills. Finds Pressler in the corner. Hills is hanging out around the arc. Fonte's the only guy inside for Hills as Quinn gets in there now. Brandel coming around the screen, couldn't get open. Isolation for Quinn on the right side, pulls up from 15 feet, no good. Rebounded by Aikens. Here comes the Knights.
Quinn shouldn't have just shot the ball. He should have went up for a layup. He had some room to penetrate it.
Offensive board to a feast, gets it to Dominguez, who pulls up, no good. Fonte the board. And it's going to be intercepted by Alex Aikens. Aikens to Marchman. He's going to slow it up, gets inside. Working on Fonte, draws the foul. Shot's no good, but Marchman did a good job of bouncing off of Chris Fonte and drawing the foul.
And Hills can't afford to have Fonte get into foul trouble. I believe that's his second, John? Third, excuse me. And he's the only one putting points on the board right now, so Chris is going to have to be careful.
That's a big developing factor now in this game. With 13 minutes to go in the game, Fonte drew his third foul, so he'll have to go to the bench for at least a couple of minutes now as Matt DeBlock checks in for him. So DeBlock and Quinn are going to have to give some quality minutes down low now. Fonte's upset with the call. He felt that Marchman leaned in on him, which he definitely did. But they can't call an offensive foul on that because Marchman did go to the ground, and that was just a good job by him of drawing the foul. Fonte might not have been the aggressor, but he definitely would have been the only guilty party if they had to call it on someone. Quinn's going to inbound it to Brandel on the baseline. Brandel gets it to Quinn. Aikens goes to the floor. They're having trouble getting it past half court. Up ahead to Brandel. Finds pressure in the corner, wide open, winds up from three, way short. To block in there for the offensive board. Can't get it to Brandel. Aikens takes it away.
You know, John, you could tell Sam bobbled the ball a little bit when he got it. You had a feeling that wasn't going to go down.
Nice drive and score from Afis. He was the leading scorer with 8 for St. Joe's in the first half. So he's now in double digits with 10. St. Joe's extends their lead back to 6. It's 31-25 midway through this third quarter. To block down low to Quinn. Nice dish. Coach Catalano dialing up the motion offense, and they worked it to perfection to get Quinn the easy layup.
Yeah, John, one of the only few times tonight we've seen them execute a play like that. Great job by DeBlock and Quinn.
Marchman getting inside, and he's fouled by Matt Heskins. So with Hills down by 4, Marchman has a chance to extend that. As a feast, after getting a quick breather, is going to come back in. Marchman's first falls. 32-27 St. Joe's. Hills has kept it close, but they haven't been able to take a lead since very, very early on. Actually, they haven't had a lead the whole game by my recollection. Both of them go for Marchman, so the lead's back up to 6. Full court press. They get it up ahead to Pressler, who has some numbers. Heskins inside, back to Pressler, who's going to take a 3-point goal. He's been short on all of them today. Pressler's frustrated, no question about it. He's had the looks, just came up short every time. Dominguez pulls up from 15, no good. It's going to be kicked out of bounds back to St. Joe's.
See, John, Kai Dominguez not shy about his shot. If he's confident, if he feels he's open, he's going to shoot it. Even if he's not open, he's going to put it up. So that's the kind of confidence you want in your players.
Well, Pressler's definitely not a bad guy to take a 3 as they get it inside to Afis, who puts it up and in. As the lead's up to 8 now. But Joe Brando's leading this team with, I believe, 17 points per game. And right now, he only has 8. So I'd like to see them get him going a little bit. Heskins gets inside and lays it in. Matt Heskins finally with his first points of the game, as he made a nice play down low to drive baseline and put in the easy layup. So Hills cuts it back down to 2 possessions. Dominguez inside, comes down with it, puts it up again, no foul called. Heskins dribbles it up. In the corner for Brandel, nice pass from Heskins. I don't know how he saw that. Brandel misses, unfortunately. Aikens up ahead to Dominguez. They have a 3-on-2 coming back the other way. Dominguez loses it, somehow gets it in the corner to Marchman, who's wide open and drains it. Mike Marchman from downtown into 9-point game.
How about the dish by Kai Dominguez? He wasn't even looking. He was on the floor.
Well, Dominguez might only have 5 points, but he's made his presence felt as Quinn misses the 3. Came up just short. Up ahead this time. Nice strip by Quinn to get inside on a Hoya Ago. And Ago was stripped, so St. Joe's will retain possession, but a nice job by Quinn to not give up the layup.
That was a bad call by the ref. It clearly went off the St. Joe's hands. It's just a bad call. You know, refs make that kind of mistake, John.
McKinless out to Marchman for 3 again. No good. That would have been the dagger. Ago got the offensive board, though. Here comes Dominguez working on DiCarvalho. The two look very similar. And getting inside is Dominguez for the finish. This kid just kills Wayne Hills. Kai Dominguez with another bucket and extends the lead to double digits now. It's 40-29. And the third quarter struggles for Wayne Hills continue.
You know, when you don't have Chris Fonte in the game, John, I mean, you're going to lose some rebounding numbers. You're not going to get all of them. So they're going to have to really dig deep, bear down, and try to get those boards.
Coach Catalano has got to get Fonte back in the game immediately. I mean, things have turned around since he's left. And he's only got 3. It's not like he has 4. Heskins is going to drive, gets inside, puts up the floater, can't get the roll. And there's just no rebounding presence right now. DiCarvalho couldn't come down with that one. And with 1:28 to go, Hills is down by 11. They got to get Fonte in, but something I've just noticed is that Sam Pressler's being checked out by the trainers on the sideline with what appears to be a wrist injury, as getting inside is Marchman. So Marchman and Dominguez have paired up in this third quarter to bury Wayne Hills as they now trail by 13.
You know, John, going back to Sam, he hurt his wrist a week ago at the end of a game, falling on it. Maybe it's maybe he tanked it a little bit. Maybe it's bothering right now. We know that's for sure.
And it's not looking pretty for Sam because they're checking out his right elbow, his forearm. So that whole area doesn't seem to be too comfortable right now, as Sam just grimaced in pain as he trying to practice his shot, and he's pointing to his forearm. And that's not a good sign for Hills, as he's their best shooter. And that could be a huge reason why all his shots have been coming up short today, if his right arm is giving him trouble.
Can't afford to lose him, John.
Especially with the short bench they have already. I mean, even if he can't shoot, he's going to have to suit up for these games and play and just not take shots because they have no one else to go to off the bench. He's a huge part of this team, starting guard. Is he flexing that right hand? And it doesn't appear to be a serious injury, but it's something that could be nagging him for the rest of the year. as Hills is going to have to make a push, as Fonte is still going to be on the bench. I don't understand why he's not coming back in. There's 9.5 minutes to go. I'm sure he'll try his best to not pick up a foul once he gets in. But they're going to stick with DiCarvalho and DeBlock, along with Quinn, Brandel, and Heskins. As Jones goes with the trap, full court trap. The Hills has done a good job of breaking it today. That's caused them problems this year. Brandel pulls up from 3, lines it up, no good, short. So Hills' 3-point goals haven't been falling tonight, especially in the second half. Alex Aiken slows things up with under a minute to go now in the third quarter. Hills would love to cut it to under 10 by the end of this quarter. But it's going to be a long road back now for them, down by 13.
I mean, you could tell Hills is struggling with their shot. I mean, they usually average a good 45, 50 points a game, and they're only at 29 after 3 quarters.
Heskins comes away with the steal after Brandel had the strip. So Matt Heskins puts that one in. He's got 4 points. And Wayne Hills breaks 30 now as they're down 42-31. McKinless to Aikens, down low to Torchon. McKinless pump fakes and gets it down low to a Feast. Working on DiCarvalho. Quinn with the board. DiCarvalho playing some tough D. Brandel with a nice move. Pulls up for 3 at the buzzer. No good. Joe Brandel's ice cold from downtown tonight. And Hills will head into the fourth down by 11.
You know, all Wayne Hill shots this whole game have been short. I mean, I don't know. It's just not their night, John. It's not their night.
I mean, ever since Fonte came out of the game, it's been an uphill struggle. That was a huge miss from Brandel from 3, as that would have cut it to 8 and made it a realistic comeback. And 11 is pretty close to a miracle. So, Joe, I'd like to make our first advertisement of the season. Today's game is brought to you by Oreo Cookies, Milk's favorite cookie.
I like Oreos.
They sponsored us today and gave us a free box, which we finished before the game even started.
You know, getting off that topic, John. Viewers at home, I'm not talking right. I mean, I'm a little under the weather. I'm sorry for this inconvenience, and I promise I'll be better for the next game me and John Vittas announce.
It's all right, Joe. It's not too painful. So not too big of a difference, so we can handle it. Your expertise is of great value to our viewers, so we couldn't afford to lose you. If only Sam Pressler was as tough as you, he'd be back in the game by now. That one's stripped away. Aikens has it. But Heskins gets the steal up ahead to Quinn. 3-on-1. Around the back pass to Fonte. But they call a charge on Mike Quinn. That would have been gorgeous. Efese's jumper is just short. Dominguez gets inside and puts it up and in. Kai Dominguez with 9 points now. Gets that layup, and this one's just about out of reach as they commit another turnover. Things getting out of hand here at the Gifford Gymnasium.
You know, Hills is trying to push the ball every time when they get it. Matt's ball getting a steal right here. And back to my point, I mean, they never can get it up cleaning.
Heskins pulls up from 3. It's good. Matt Heskins lighting up the scoreboard, shall we say, as the scoreboard shuts down after he hit that one. So lights out shooting for Hills as the lights on the scoreboard go out. I can be corny. Heskins coming up ahead again now. Down by 10 is Wayne Hills. Quinn from 3. No good. Fonte, the offensive board, and he puts it up and in. Chris Fonte cleaning up a mess down low. He's got 14 now.
Hills looking to have a comeback.
As things are getting a little bit out of hand here, 8-point game, 6 minutes to go. We're going to bring in a very vital member of the Wayne Hills football team as Afees misses the 3. Captain for next year, number 5, wide receiver and safety, Eugene Lowe. So Eugene, watching this St. Joe's team that came in and broke your streak, I mean, do you think the revenge factor is a big issue today as Fonte draws the foul? Or how bad do your fellow football players want to win this one?
Well, it's definitely a big game for us next year. It's going to be a late game of the season. So stakes are still going to be high. We're going to need that game after we come after a tough Rampo team. But our team's definitely better. They're losing their big players. We still have all of ours. So I think we're definitely going to be able to handle them.
Now, you said you were bringing back all your good players, but, I mean, you lose Mike Quinn. That's a big loss at the quarterback position. There's a big hole there to fill next year. Of course, you lose the big left tackle, Chris Fonte, Matt DeBlock, the safety. You lose a lot of big guys. And, I mean, this year you lost 2 games, which is obviously a huge disappointment by Wayne Hills standards. So there's going to be a lot of doubters going into next season, a lot of people predicting more losses for Wayne Hills. I mean, what do you say to those doubters? I mean, can you do it? Can you go undefeated again?
I mean, when you lose guys like that, big players, big-time players we've had for a couple of years now, there's always going to be some spot you got to fill. But that's when the younger guys step up. Someone makes one play there, and then they're there for the rest of the season. It happened. Russell did it this year, came in as a junior, starts the first game, doesn't lose a spot since then. So guys are going to step up. Someone's going to make a play. We'll be able to handle it.
Well, like they say here at Wayne Hills, they don't rebuild, they reload. And Coach Olson does a great job of breeding these kids from a young age to come up at the high school level and make an impact as sophomores and juniors. So you guys will definitely be ready, but I'm excited for next year. I mean, I'll be in the booth, calling the games, doing the interviews after. It'll be an exciting season.
It'll be a fun time. I'm glad to have my senior year, be my big year, and I'll enjoy it.
I mean, you had an interception this year, big one down the stretch in a vital game. I mean, make a call. How many are you going to have next year?
The over-under's 4.
I'll give you the over on that. I mean, you could break Jeremiah Kale's record. What did he have, 8 a couple years ago?
Yeah, it's not push my luck with that one. Maybe I'll do a little more on the offensive side. That's one big player. I don't think anyone's going to really do anything like that ever again for a while.
Well, thanks for dropping by, Huge. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. We'll see what Wayne Hills can do here on the basketball court, try to avenge that loss, but it's not looking too good right now.
It's all right. Thanks for having me.
All right, so here we go. Hills down by 6, 44-38. They're trying to fight back. Dominguez down the lane, rebounded by Fonte. So after Fonte hit those free throws, Hills has cut it to 6, so it's a game again. 5 minutes to go. Quinn gets it up ahead, puts it up, can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Torchon.
That was a big miss, John. He could have cut it to 4. I mean, Quinn's definitely regret that he missed that.
Well, with 5 minutes to go, with Hills' three-point shooting, they're definitely not out of it just yet. Gardner's back in the game for St. Joe's. So they get it to Marchman, who's been the dagger in Wayne Hills' side so far. He goes down hard, bumping into Fonte, and they're going to say it went off Fonte. Coach is not happy with that call. Aikens to inbound. Aikens pulls up, no good. Getting inside is Torchon for the offensive board. Gardner has it now. They can't finish down low. DeBlock eventually comes away with it as Gardner goes down hard. He's very slow to get up. So Hills with a little bit of an advantage as Gardner finally gets back down the court. DeBlock doesn't take those wide open shots too often. As Brando's going to be tripped up by Marchman. That's the 4th team foul for St. Joe, so Hills is still a long way away from the bonus. 4:26 to go, down by 6. Their defense has kept it in it, Joe.
Yes, it has. I mean, they played great defense throughout, keeping the St. Joe's team just 44 points. I mean, Hills has been making shots in this 4th quarter, so that's big for him, too.
DeBlock in the corner. Brandel winds up. 4 minutes to go as Brandel wasn't paying attention, and Quinn's pass goes 3 rows deep into the bleachers. Kai Dominguez is going to slow things up. There's no need to rush if you're St. Joe's. Up by 6, 4 minutes to go, under 4 now. Coming around the screen is Marchman. Pick and roll worked to perfection from St. Joe's. Hills wanted the offensive foul. The block was in position, but it feast finished for St. Joe's, and they're now back up by 8. Full court press from the Knights. Brandel up ahead to Heskins. Brandel, a long three-pointer, rebounded by Aikens. Not a smart shot from Brandel.
But John, he's proved he can make those kind of shots, so I'm sure Coach Cat doesn't mind it.
3:23 to go now. Time ticking on Wayne Hills' hopes. With no shot clock, Joes can burn as much time as they want. Hard foul on Quinn. They're not going to give him a technical as Marchman did his best Brad Pitt impression right there. Flying to the floor. Driving baseline is Torchan. Gets it down low to Marchman. That'll just about do it. 10-point game, 2.5 minutes to go. So Marchman with 9 points in this half as Heskins flips one up. That prayer's not answered. It feasts down low, puts it up and in. So Catalano's going to call a timeout. Really no need for that. Down by 12. Down by 12 with 2.5 to go. So Joe, as we wrap this one up in just a couple minutes, Hills is going to fall to 6 and 8 now on the season. So I mean, what do you think? Being a Wayne Hills basketball expert, coming to a lot more games than I have this year, what do you think their chances are of making the county and state playoffs?
Well, John, I have to say, they are a little bit inconsistent of when they make shots and when they don't make shots. I mean, it's really a jump shooting team besides Fonte, so if they're not making shots, they're probably not going to win.
And earlier in the game, we saw Pressler go down with a wrist injury, so that's definitely going to be a huge factor for Hills' success because they definitely need him if they want to make any type of run in the playoffs, but they got to worry about getting to the playoffs first at 6 and 8. So they'll break the huddle down 50 to 38 here. As we'll look toward the bench here with Giardello and Jimmy Kenny chilling there, waiting to get into the game. Looking for some courtesy minutes. As with this one, pretty much out of reach, we're going to welcome in our second interview of the night. We're honored to be joined by left-handed pitcher and sweeper Tyler Rubino, wearing his Syracuse orange after the big win against Georgetown last night. So Tyler, not just an impact player on the field, but off the field on the 30-minute drill, which has recently been disbanded. But Tyler, a legend in Wayne Hills sports and talking about him. So Tyler, welcome to the Wayne Hills broadcast booth for your first time. Now, first question for you is the soccer team. Stepped it up this year, had a winning season, made it to the playoffs. You'll be a captain this year, so we're just rolling in captain after captain for you as you're listening at home. So Tyler, next year, this Wayne Hills soccer team, how good can you be?
Well, we do lose a couple good players with Brandon Hill, Josh Kaufman, Mike the Duke, so we definitely have to rebuild in the defense and our top scorer, Junior Ragoza. But I think we have the players that can do it. I might go back to sweeper. We have a lot of young players who have a lot of talent. I really think they can step their game up. And Justin Bolesky, who scored about 20-something goals at JV, and Benny Titel and Zach Muhol, who have great speed and just great players on top. If they can come in and step their game up, I think we can have another successful season.
Now, I'm not a soccer expert, but something tells me that goalie play is very important in soccer. And Mike the Duke was a great goalie for you guys this year, and that's going to be a big hole to fill. Now Max Simon's going to step in next year. I mean, what can he do at the varsity level?
Well, he just has to play his game. Obviously, Mike the Duke, one of the best goalies around. He, not just his goalie skills, but his punting skills, his goal kicks. It's so much better when you have you have a goalie who can punt the ball almost on a bounce to the other goal box, and it could help you score. But Max Simon, he's a very athletic kid. He makes a lot of saves that you wouldn't expect him to. And if he just plays his game, I think he'll have a successful season in the net.
Well, you mentioned he's athletic, and he's a shorter kid, so that athleticism is going to help him get to those balls high up around the crossbar.
Yeah, definitely.
But switching gears now to baseball, there's 3 baseball players right now, me, myself, Joe Rapp, and Tyler. Now, Tyler's got a good chance to start this year on the mound in the rotation, and I know that we're going to be playing the St. Joe's team in Kai Dominguez this year. Is another unnecessary timeouts called by St. Joe's. But we're going to talk about a little baseball here. We started our off-season training camp last night at Overtime Sports. That went well. We're going to continue to do that, so we're working hard. Big shoes to fill, though, with Travis Della Volpe, and I've heard things that you've been compared to Travis, being a dominant left-handed pitcher with, no offense, limited velocity, but great pinpoint accuracy and great movement on your off-speed pitches. So talk about living up to the expectations of the great Travis Della Volpe.
Well, Travis Della Volpe was obviously an unbelievable baseball player. Has great fastball, great location, great breaking ball, and he really stepped up his game in his junior year. No one really expected him to do what he did. Hit 4 home runs. Senior year hits 7 or 8 home runs. With me, I'm just going to go out there and just play my game. I'm just going to pretty much just hit my locations, stay ahead of the counts, and well, what are you laughing at? And I'm just going to go out there and try to play as good as a player as I am.
Well, now Eugene Lowe used to play baseball. He's still sitting here. And he's going to have to keep his composure as he's got a very important announcement to make.
So this time, I regret to inform that I am announcing my retirement from the baseball profession. It's a profession, John. It's not a sport anymore. It's a game. It's a way of life.
Well, Huge, we're sorry to hear that. I mean, my way of life won't be the same without you.
I don't know who's going to be able to tape my wrist before the games. I'm going to have to find a new wrist taper now.
I do think I did win best dressed last year on the baseball team.
No question about it. I mean, no one rocked the black tape better than Eugene Lowe at second base.
Forget the smeared eye black.
And the smeared eye black. I mean, I don't know who's going to put the eye black on me now. I mean, Kevin Solomon wears it from time to time, but I mean, I don't even think I'm worthy of him putting my eye black on.
I mean, Huge, I'm going to, you playing second base, me playing right field, I'm going to miss throwing the ball to you at cutoff, so it's going to be terrible.
On a more serious note, we're getting destroyed in basketball by 9.
Well, it's 50-41, so Hills has fought back a little bit. They were down by like 14 before. Fonte pulls down the board, but there's only a minute to go. So Hills and Brandel have to jack up some threes here as Pressler's come back in for after the injury, and he hits the 3. So that wrist doesn't seem to be bothering him as Catalano's going to call another timeout as Hills has cut it down to 2 possessions.
They're only down 6 now with 55 seconds. You guys St. Joe's miss a couple free throws. You knock down another couple threes, or they could bring this game to overtime or somehow win in regulation.
So, Tyler, Eugene, thanks for dropping by. It's a pleasure to talk to you, make things interesting here. And so, the sad announcement of Eugene Lowe announcing his retirement from the sport of baseball. I mean, Joe, it's a tough loss to the team. I mean, talk about the contributions Eugene has made on the baseball diamond as well as in the locker room.
Well, he's just a great person, John, and great on the field, too. I mean, he was probably our best bunter that we had. I mean, he had about 150 chances to do it every game. But when there was a suicide squeeze called, I was part of 2 this whole season. And I was on third, he was up, and he got him down, and we scored 2 runs. So,
well, Coach Goldie did his best job this year of trying to change Eugene's reputation of a strikeout legend to a bunting legend, and he did a great job of that. I mean, Eugene was just a champion bunter, champion walk drawer, and a great defensive player at second base. I mean, very few errors, and he did a great job of keeping everyone loose. I mean, you heard his personality on this broadcast. And makes everyone laugh, keeps laughing, keeps us loose. He's gonna be missed. I mean, he might not have been a varsity legend on the baseball field, but he definitely is a legend in the clubhouse and a legend in our hearts. So Eugene Lowe is going to be greatly missed on the baseball field. As Torshawn's free throw is no good. So Hills is still in this with 50 seconds to go, down by 6. If St. Joe's can miss their 1-and-1s, this is not over yet. They're trying to find the open 3. They get it to Pressler in the corner. Can't quite get open. St. Joe's knows what Hills wants to do, and Pressler strip with 39 seconds to go. Oh, unfortunate call as they're going to give it back to St. Joe's. DeBlock will come in for Fonte on defense. So Akins is going to inbound. They're going to say that ball went off of Pressler. So that'll just about do it. They're going to have to foul Dominguez. So if Dominguez can miss the front end of the 1-and-1, it won't be over. But if he hits either free throw, I mean, you can pretty much put the nail in the coffin.
You know, John, there's 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Hills is down by 10, and you're calling it over? Have you heard of Tracy McGrady's 13 points in 16 seconds?
Joe, the only reason I'm calling it over is there's no shot clock in high school. I mean, if St. Joe's was smart, they would have just ran out the clock. But they haven't been able to do that as Dominguez gets a chance here to bury Hills again. So Kai Dominguez is a Wayne Hills killer. It's official. When you do it in 2 sports, you're officially designated a Wayne Hills destroyer. As he's done it today on the basketball court. He's in double figures now. Hit a big 3 earlier in the game. Buries them from the free throw line. This guy just has our number.
Well, John, there is one sport left, and that's on the diamond.
Heskins buries a long-range 3. That'll cut it down to 5 with 29 seconds to go. But as long as St. Joe's can hit their free throws, it'll be over. But these coaches are taking this game very seriously as they're taking timeout after timeout here in this fourth quarter. So it's 52-47, not quite over just yet. But like I said, St. Joe's is in full control as long as they can hit their free throws. But one last thing I want to point out is the referees today are wearing pink whistles. I've never seen that, but it's always nice to see the referees come out and support cancer, as breast cancer is always a serious matter. And it's something that happens in sports from time to time. NBA, NFL, MLB making their contributions to breast cancer, but you remember it on those days, but you forget about it on the other 364 days of the year. And it's nice to be reminded of it when the referees, like today, wear these whistles. So a nice gesture they've reached out and made tonight.
John, this game's not over yet. It's not over.
It's not. I mean, Hills is going to look to steal the inbound. So they're going to turn and face a man right here. Play man-to-man defense. Akins gets it into Dominguez, and they're going to call a foul on Brandel. They would have loved to have Dominguez give it to Torshawn, who's probably not as good of a free throw shooter as Dominguez. But, again, Dominguez will have another chance to bury Wayne Hills. Only a second and a half went off the clock, so 27.9 in the game. Hills is in the double bonus now, unfortunately, so Dominguez will get 2 shots no matter what. His first one's good. Dominguez 4 for 4 from the line. He's single-handedly putting this game away. 54-47. Heskins tries to come around the screen. Can't get open. Gets it to Quinn for 3. Rattles out. The board to Afis. And that will do it, Joe. 54-47. 7-point game. 15 seconds to go. Afis will head to the line shooting 2. So Hills will drop to 6-8 on the year. They have another game Thursday.
I mean, John, you gotta give Wayne Hills an A for effort. I mean, it feels like that St. Joe's just out hustled them, outplayed them, but yet they're gonna be in single figures this whole game with the score. So I think Coach Cap, obviously he's not happy that he lost the game or is going to lose the game, but I think he'll go home, go in his car, saying, you know what, we played pretty good.
They hung in there against a very good 11-2 private school team. I mean, they didn't embarrass themselves tonight, but of course they would have liked to come away with the win. Randall chucks up a crazy awkward three. Rebounded by Dominguez, and they're just going to let the clock run out. 2 seconds, 1. That'll do it. So from the Gifford Gymnasium at Wayne Hills High School, the final result of this one, St. Joseph's High School 55, Wayne Hills High School 47. So, Joe, real quick, not much to say. Final thoughts on this one.
Well, like I said before, St. Joe's they just played better than them, quite frankly. I don't think Wayne Hills played that bad. I mean, they stepped it up in the second half, making their shots. I mean, Fonte getting in foul trouble was a huge factor. You really didn't see him much in the second half. I mean, he was dominant in the first half, getting anywhere he wanted on the court, but you just got to give it up to Wayne Hills in their effort. But St. Joe's just outclassed them, outplayed them, outhustled them.
Yeah, Joe, you hit it on the head. The two things that stand out for me was Fonte getting into foul trouble and Hills not hitting their threes. I mean, they're a three-point shooting team. They didn't take advantage of that. They only hit 3 threes tonight. They took a ton. But like you said, in the third quarter, Hills is just absolutely atrocious in the third quarter this season. They've blown so many games coming out of the half. And Fonte coming out of the game after scoring 5 points right away to start the second half. Once he came out, I mean, it was a whole different game. They were down by 3 when he came out, and they were down by 11 when he came back. And, I mean, without Chris Fonte, this team just can't get it done. So they fall to 6-8. St. Joe's improves to 12-2. So that'll just about do it here from Wayne Hills. For our cameraman, Matt Reilly, who does a great job every time. And, of course, my man to my right, Joe Rapp. That'll do it from Wayne Hills. I am John Vittas. Have a nice night, everyone.